Sanamaro, it's Guru Dato with the recipe of the month for July. We just came down from the summer solstice celebration, and the meal that they serve for dinner every night is mung beans and rice, also known as Bhajan's Banquet or Khichdi. It's a wonderfully satisfying meal. It's a complete protein. The mung beans and the rice together form a complete protein. The rice is full of B vitamins. It's just a great, very satisfying meal. It's something that you can use as a mono diet. It's recommended in Ayurveda for when you're recovering from an illness or injury. It's because it's a pre-digested meal, so it's very easy for your body to assimilate. It also has onions, ginger, and garlic, and a lot of very good Ayurvedic spices. The mung beans and rice are cooked together, and then you with most of the vegetables, but then you use the onions, ginger, and garlic with the spices to make a masala. And we will show you in detail how to cook it after I finish my introduction. But basically, this is a meal that it's called Bhajan's Banquet because it's Yogi Bhajan said it's fit for royalty, but it's not expensive. Pretty much anyone could make this on whatever budget they have and feel royal because it's such a great food for your body and your spirit. Again, we will show you in detail how to make it in a moment. You can serve it by itself. It's fine this way. You can have it with yogurt, or you can have it with cottage cheese. In the early days, we used to have it in our Golden Temple restaurants with melted cheese on top, and that was very delicious. So, thank you very much. I hope you give it a try. It doesn't take that long to make, about an hour and a half if you're very efficient. So, thank you very much.
Satnam, we're going to show you some of the steps in making mung beans and rice in Foods for Health and Healing. It's called Bhajan's Banquet, named after Yogi Bhajan. It's also known as Khichdi. There's many different ways of making mung beans and rice, but this is a very basic way. And when you get used to making it a few times, you can add or subtract things that you like with the recipe. So we have 9 cups of boiling water. I'm going to add basmati rice, whole mung beans. Make sure your mung beans are clean. They usually are these days, but you might want to just sort through to make sure there's no little rocks or stones. That's 1 cup of rice and 1 cup of mung beans. Get that boiling in the water. The next step is to add 4 to 6 cups of chopped vegetables of your choice. I'm using zucchini and yellow squash, and carrots and celery. You could also use any collards or kale, cauliflower, broccoli, anything like that, whatever you have on hand. So we're going to add that to the pot. One dish wonder. Get that all boiling together. Once it comes to a rolling boil, you can turn it down just so it's got a nice boil going on to get everything cooked together. The next part I'll show you is how to cook together the onions, garlic, and ginger and the spices. Okay, so while the mung beans and rice and vegetables are cooking in the pot, I've got them on the back burner over there. Heat a half a cup of oil or ghee. I'm using ghee. Here's the 2 onions, finely chopped. Onions, garlic, and ginger, and the spices. I like to use a mini chopper. It gets for the ginger and the garlic, it gets it nice and finely done, evenly done. Onions, garlic, and ginger in the ghee. Get it all mixed in. So I've started the next step, which is cooking together the onions, garlic, and ginger in a half cup of oil or ghee. I'm using ghee. So I've added the onions and the garlic and the ginger, the red chili flakes, and the garam masala. next spice is the turmeric. One way you kind of know that this is cooking nicely together and ready to use with the rest of the mung beans and rice recipe is that the turmeric will start changing color from this very yellow golden color that it is when it's raw to a really nice dark brown, reddish kind of brown color. That's in there. They call for ground black pepper. And the seeds from a cardamom pod, which I'll put in here and I'll show you what that is. These are cardamom pods, and when you crush it open, you'll find inside the little pod has these dark seeds in it, and that's what you put in to the recipe. Oh, missed a few. Okay. The other flavorings for the recipe are basil, sweet basil, and bay leaves and salt. But we're not going to add that right now. We're going to wait until everything's cooked and then add that to the final stage. So this is probably going to take, I would say, between 5 and 10 minutes, maybe a little bit more. To cook all together, you want the onions to really break down and almost fall apart, and the spices to turn that nice dark reddish brown color and get all infused with the garlic and the ginger. So as you can see, the mung beans and the rice and the vegetables are boiling away here in the pot. There's quite a bit of liquid left. You may have to add a little bit more water, and that's okay if you do. The onions, garlic, and ginger and spices are finishing up cooking here in the ghee. See how they're nice and brown now? The turmeric has changed color. I'm going to take the onions, garlic, and ginger mixture, add it into the mung beans and rice. Stir it all together. It smells really, really good. I ended up cooking the onions, garlic, and ginger for a really good 10 minutes. It might have been going on more like 13 minutes once it got all nice together. Now you're going to add the 2 bay leaves and the sweet basil, and that can all cook together. It'll continue cooking until the mung beans and rice are really cooked and the vegetables are all cooked down. In the recipe it just says cook it so much that it's hard to tell the difference between all the ingredients, that everything will fall apart and be really quite mushy. And this is a very healing food. The khichdi, it's good for any ailment. It's really good as something you eat often, or you could eat for a few days as a mono diet. And remember to chant as you're making it. That's the special ingredient. So that'll cook together for probably another 20 minutes or so, and then you can add salt or tamari to taste.